Welcome back, aspirants, to the UPSC podcast Listen, Learn, and Revise series of Syllabus Coach. So, we are dealing with Indian history. Now, we have arrived at the lesson 7 Jainism. Jainism is also an important ancient Indian religion other than Buddhism, friends. So, do watch our earlier podcast, that is, 6th lesson Buddhism, before listening this podcast. So, we know that Jainism has been founded by a religious leader called Vardhaman Mahavira. Friends, but actually, there are 24 Tirthankaras who have initiated this ideology or philosophy called Jainism, which later became a religion, right? So, the 24th or the last Tirthankara is our Mahavira, Vardhaman Mahavira. Okay, the first Tirthankara is called as Rishabhanath or Adinath, right? So, the 24th is our Vardhaman Mahavira. Okay, so let's have a small personal story of Mahavira. We are not going with the story, but I would be giving you some objective bits kind. So, he has the titles of Mahavira and Nirgranda. He was born in 540 BC year. Okay, his place of birth is Kundagrama in Vaishali. Okay, he belongs to a Kshatriya class, and he was enlightened at a place called Jimbika Grama or Rijupalika. Okay, his companion is called Gosala Makaliputta. Okay, and his death was in 468 BC near Rajagriha at a place called Pavapuri. So, friends, coming to the philosophy of Jainism. Similar like Buddhism, Jainism also has rejected the authority of the Vedas and Vedic rituals. So both Buddhism and Jainism have some common things. They are more of a practical nature rather than focusing more on Vedic spirituality and Vedic rituals. So according to Jainism, world was not created, maintained or destroyed by a personal god, but by a universal law. Thus it didn't believe in the existence of God. Friends, here there is a difference between Buddhism and Jainism. I told you in the earlier podcast that Buddhism was an agnostic religion, especially Lord Buddha. He did not discuss whether God is existing or not. He remained as an agnostic and didn't come into the dilemmas. But Jainism has outrightly rejected the philosophy or existence of God. It only believed in karma and the transmigration of soul. It advocated the path of nonviolence just like Buddha. So some of the important aspects of Jain philosophy are Nyayavada, Anekantavada and Syadvada. Friends, Nyayavada is the knowledge of a particular point of view. Okay, when an individual tries to understand a particular point of view, he is called as Nyayavada, just like our present lawyers. Anekantavada, Anekam means infinite. So Anekantavada is to have the knowledge of infinite things. Okay. Syadvada is understanding of an object of knowledge is conditional. So Syadvada is your knowledge will have a condition. So these are some of the philosophies. Okay. Now coming to the doctrines of Jainism. There are five important doctrines of Jainism, friends. These are very important. They are Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. So these are the five doctrines. That means five rules set by Jainism for all its followers to behave. Okay, to be a good Jain. They are Ahimsa, which we know non-violence. Satya, truthfulness. Asteya means you should not steal the property or money of others. That is called Asteya. Brahmacharya means it's not like the present one, but Brahmacharya is like celibacy. That means you should not have a lot of desires kind also. Aparigraha is non-possession. Okay, you should not have more property. You should have like more of knowledge than like more of property. So that is Aparigraha, that is non-possession. Now apart from these five doctrines, there are also five vows or five principles of Jainism. They are the five vows have to be observed by every householder. They are non-injury, non-stealing, truth, non-possession, and non-adultery. Right, friends? So here you should understand that Mahatma Gandhiji has taken the principles like truth or non-violence, ahimsa. All these have arrived by the Buddhism and Jainism right back in the 6th century BC itself. So, friends, apart from these five doctrines or five principles of Jainism, there are three ratnas or three jewels. Okay, that is, these three are the ways to attain the kaivalya or the moksha. Right? That first one is right knowledge, second one is right faith, third one is right action. So, what is right knowledge? Right knowledge is you have to understand what are the key religious principles of Jainism. That is right knowledge. Right faith. So you have to believe in the right persons. Who are those right persons? Jainism says you should believe in the Jinas. So Jina is the god of Jains. And right action. What is the right action? There are five principles which I have told you earlier. That are the five doctrines. So only when you follow those five actions, you are right. So these are the three jewels. Friends, just like in the earlier podcast, I have told you, there have been four Buddhist councils or four Buddhist meetings. In Jainism, there are two Jain councils, one and two. The first council was happening or did happen in 300 BC. The second council happened in 512 AD. So there is a gap of almost 800 years between the two Jain councils. Okay, the first council happened at Patliputra and it was headed by Stula Bahu. What happened there? What will happen there, friends? In the Buddhist councils also, I told you, at every Buddhist council, there will be a patronizer, a leader. It will happen at a particular place. And what will happen? Either compilations of the literature will take place or different ideologies will be divided in that councils. Okay, there will be division, split in the thing. But in Jain councils, there have been no split, but there will be one split in Jainism that will happen after a particular council meeting. Okay, but in both the Jain councils, there will be actually compilation of literatures. Jain literatures are called Angas, Purvas, and Upangas. Okay, Angas, Purvas, and Upangas. In the first council at Patliputra, compilation of 12 Angas will happen. Okay. In the second council, which happens at Vallabhi, final compilation of 12 Angas and 12 Upangas will happen. So these three words you should remember: Angas, Upangas, and Purvas. Okay. So these are the important literature of Jainism. There are 14 Purvas. Purvam means what? Old. So the 14 Purvams or Purvas are the old books of Jains. And 12 Angas are the Jain doctrines. Okay, these are the real doctrines. 12 Upangas. Upangas are like appendixes to the Angas. So because there are 12 Angas, they have 12 appendices called as 12 Upangas. So these are the three main literatures of Jainism. Again, I am stressing literature is the important source for us to know what happened in the history, to prove ourselves. It is called as the corroboration. We will corroborate different kinds of sources. Okay, it's not collaboration, it's corroboration. So you will corroborate, that means you will verify different kinds of historical, written, and oral sources to know what would have happened at that point of time. That is called as reconstruction of history. It has to be done in a practical and rational manner. So now coming to the Jain's architecture. So friends, I have told you Buddhists and Jains are the initial skilled and masters of architecture in the Indian subcontinent. They have done a lot of sculptures, stupas, and caves, especially by the Buddhist and Jain monks who keep on roaming. The first one is the caves. So caves like Hathigumpa, Udaygiri, and Khandagiri of Odisha are the famous caves. The Dilwara temple at Mount Abu, which is very famous. The Tejpala temple, the Girnar and Patilana temples in Gujarat, the Rajgriha temple in Bihar, and in Karnataka, a very big statue, Gomateshwara statue, which is also called as Bahubali, friends. That is at Shravana Belagula in Mysore. This is very good tourist place. Any of you can visit it. You can Google it. You will see a very big statue which is world famous. That statue name is Bahubali. It is in Mysore at Shravana Belagula near Mysore. Okay. So friends, here I would like to say that Jainism at present is now like mostly in Western India, that is in Gujarat, Mumbai, and Rajasthan, and mostly Vaishyas or the trading community of India are only presently are mostly following Jainism, and Jainism could not penetrate into other communities now because of various reasons I would explain in the later stages. So in that background, let's see the royal patrons. That means who are the kings who have patronized Jainism. First, in the North India, in the Magadha dynasty, Bimbisara, Ajatashatru, Chandragupta Maurya, Karavela, kings like these, okay, have patronized the Jainism. In South India, the Ganga dynasty, Rashtrakutas, Solankis are the patrons of Jainism. And in Bengal, Palas are the great and the last patrons of Jainism. Friends, I have told you in Buddhism there are three sects, right? Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. Similarly, Jainism also there are two important sects. This is the only split that happened in Jainism. They are called as Digambaras and Shwetambaras. The words seem familiar, right? So let's see what is the difference between Digambaras and Shwetambaras. Friends, what happened was after the death of Lord Vardhaman Mahavira during the kingdom of Chandragupta Maurya. A severe famine had occurred that led to great exodus of Jain monks from Ganga Valley to the Deccan. This migration has led to a break in the Jainism, that is split in the Jainism. So what happened was when all the Jain monks were in the Ganga Valley, there occurred a severe famine. So some of them came to South India, that is Deccan. So those who came to South India were called as Digambras. Okay, they are the followers of Bhadrabahu. Okay, what he said, he wanted them to be nude. They should not wear any dresses. So they are called as Digambras. That's why they are followers of Bhadrabahu. Shvetambras means they wear white color. Shweta means white. So Shvetambras wear white color dresses. They are the North Indian monks who are under the leader called Stola Bhadra. So Bhadra is a common word, but Shvetambras are ruled by, are the leaders of Shvetambra are Stula Bhadra. The leader of Digambras is Bhadrabahu. You should remind it. Remember, Shvetambras wear white dresses, Digambras are nude. Then why did Jainism decline? It's a very good ideology. Why did it decline? There were a lot of factors. The Jains took the concept of ahimsa too far. What the Jains have told is, uh, like Buddhism told, you should follow a middle path. You should not be extreme in anything. But unfortunately, what Jainism is, it took ahimsa to extremely opposite note. Like what happened? Even if they fell ill, they should not take medicine because they believe that medicine will kill the germs inside the body. Even they also profess that you should not do agriculture because if for agriculture you have to till the land and earthworms in the land might die because of your tilling. So these kind of unfortunate practices or belief systems in the Jainism which took the religion too far, that has taken the religion away from the common masses. So in that sense, Jainism has done a negative thing to its own on its own ideology. So unlike Buddhism, Jainism has done negative thing to it on its own. That's why Jainism has decreased in India later, and slowly the kings which came after the feudal age, that is after Harshavardhana, most of the kings, both Hindus and Muslims, did not patronize Jainism, and that's why by the end of I would say 9th and 10th centuries, Jainism has almost declined in India, and now it is restricted to parts of Western India and to some communities like Vaishyas, etc. So that's the end of Jainism, friends. The next lesson would be about the Mauryan dynasty, which is Indian subcontinent's first and biggest and powerful empire. So we all know King Ashoka, Emperor Ashoka is also a part of the Mauryan Empire. So that's a beautiful lesson. I will be explaining you in that next podcast. So if you like this, please do subscribe and share. Thank you, Aspen.